Hey guys! So, as you can tell, I have a different background, and that is because my other bookshelf, which is my TBR shelf, is empty because I'm bringing that bookshelf with me to college, and that whole side of my room is just a mess right now, and I didn't even want to try to clean it up to make it look presentable for a video. I just decided to use this bookshelf since it's so pretty and I never film next to it anymore. Most of this will stay intact because I'm not bringing a lot of it to college with me. Some books are taken off, but you probably can't even tell. So before I get started, I just wanted to let you know that I am going to try to be pre-filming some videos just so that my first week of college I'm not super overwhelmed with trying to do videos and classes and everything. So I might be in my room in some videos, but I also might find a chance to film at college, and I might be in my new dorm, so it might flip back and forth depending on how many videos I get out before I have a chance to film at my dorm. I know I'll be doing my August wrap up in my dorm. It all just depends. If it's confusing and you don't really understand why I'm switching back and forth, that would be why. Let's pull up the unpopular opinions. Okay, so today I will be doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag, and I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I've just seen this all over BookTube, and I think it's so much fun, and I think it's so cool to just express your unpopular opinions and maybe the things you didn't like or the things you did that not everyone likes, and just set yourself apart from the group, because a lot of times on BookTube every channel is raving about the same 5 books, and of course they deserve that praise, but it's just fun to have diversity, and I really liked it and I really wanted to try it because it's one of my favorite videos to watch. This tag was created by The Book Archer, and I will leave their link down below. Like I said, I wasn't tagged, so I have no video that I was tagged in to link down below, but oh well. Let's just get started. The first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like. For this, I have 2 actually because I just dislike them both equally. The first is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I went into it with not like very high hopes because I had heard mixed things about it. I knew people that loved it, but I also knew people that didn't really like it. And I'm on the side of people that didn't really like it. Just thought it was another dystopian book and it wasn't very original. To top that off, I didn't really care for any of the characters, so there was nothing that really made me want to keep reading and really want to enjoy this. Next is a standalone book that is very popular, but I just didn't like it, and that is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I know this is a classic, and I know that a lot of people like it. I also know people that don't like it. Again, I'm on the side of people that don't like it. I just didn't find anything special in it. I didn't see a deeper meaning. And I've had people explain to me what this deeper meaning is and what the story is about and what I should be taking from it. And I just didn't take that from it. I've read it multiple times trying to really grasp it and really like it, and every time I just don't like it. I've watched movie adaptations. I don't like the movie adaptations. I don't connect with any of the characters. I don't care for any of the characters. I don't think they have really any redeemable qualities. I just really don't like this book. Next is a book or series that everyone seems to hate but you love, and for that I chose Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepard. And I don't have the first book because I read these books in the 7th grade, and I borrowed the first 4 books from a friend, and then I finally started buying them. I really enjoyed up to book 8 of this series. I think after book 8 it just started to get convoluted and dumb, and it really should have stopped after book 8 because book 8 was an awesome ending. If you don't know, the way that they're set up is every 4 books A is revealed, so A changes every 4 books. And I know it's not really the same with the TV show. I just really enjoyed the A reveal in book 4, which is actually the same A reveal that's in one of the beginning seasons of the show, which is Mona. Book 8 has a completely different reveal from the show's recent finale, and I think the book reveal was so much better. I really enjoyed these. These are obviously not the best literature ever, but they're so much fun to read. At the time when I was in the 7th grade, it was a mature read for me, and it was just so much fun, and eventually I would really love to revisit this series. I don't know when I'll get to it or if I actually ever will get to it, but I really did like this series. Next is a love triangle where the main character did not end up with the person that you wanted them to be with, or an OTP that you don't really like. For this, I chose kind of a weird one because I sat at my shelf and I couldn't really think of an OTP that I just absolutely did not like, but I also couldn't think of a love triangle where I just hated who they ended up with. So this might be a little spoilery if you haven't read the Grisha trilogy. If you haven't finished it, then maybe mute the screen until this book goes away. I think it would have been really cool if Alina ended up with the Darkling instead of with Mal. I think she ended up with Mal. Either that or she didn't end up with anyone. I don't really remember. I read this series about a year ago. I read the whole thing back to back. I seem to remember her ending up with Mal, but honestly I could be wrong. I think that it would have just been a really cool twist for her to end up with the Darkling and kind of turn into an anti-hero, because I feel like I just read so many books about heroes and obviously it fits for them to end up with the good guy or the good girl, like the two good people to end up together, but I felt like this was just the perfect setup for it to turn into something so dark and just so awesome, and it didn't, and I love the series as a whole, but I thought that was kind of disappointing. Next is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for, and I have two. One is classics, and I know that's so bad. I always want to read classics and then I just never get around to it, so hopefully that will change soon. And another one is paranormal. Rarely do I reach for paranormal anymore. I used to love vampires and werewolves and I used to reach for that all the time, but now I find myself leaning toward either contemporary or fantasy and sometimes sci-fi, but I really don't go for paranormal anymore. Sometimes it's a nice read, but not usually. Next is a popular or beloved character that you do not like, and I guess this isn't really from a book, it's from a TV show, but it is Stefan from The Vampire Diaries. I will put his picture right here because I know I am a Delena shipper, Damon and Elena forever and ever and ever, but not only am I a Delena shipper and I just want Elena to be with Damon and forget about Stefan, I just don't like Stefan as a character. I think he's so selfish. He just is such an annoying character. I can't even stand him and I don't understand why people like him. Next is a popular author that you can't seem to get into, and this one's kind of weird because it is Daniel Handler, and I know that Daniel Handler is Lemony Snicket, and I love Lemony Snicket. I loved A Series of Unfortunate Events, and I read some of his other works, and I've loved Lemony Snicket, but when he's writing as Daniel Handler, I just cannot get into his writing. I tried reading Why We Broke Up and I read the whole thing, but I just really didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was that great of a read. Beautiful. It's beautiful. The pictures inside are just gorgeous, but I can't get into Daniel Handler as an author. Next is a popular book trope that you are tired of seeing. I think a book trope that I'm really tired of seeing is when the main girl character is so selfless that she doesn't think about what she wants. I'm always rooting for the do what you want, do what will make you happy, do what's best for you kind of situation, just being too selfless. I think that you can be too selfless and it winds up hurting you in the end, and it's just getting really annoying when especially girl characters, are just so selfless that they never think about themselves. Like, they don't matter, but everyone else does. That's not true. They do matter, and nobody is that selfless. Everybody is a little bit selfish and has a little bit of self-preservation, and I would really like to see that portrayed in a book character. Next is a popular series that you have no interest in reading, and this one was kind of hard for me because I have interest in reading a lot of series, so it was really hard to choose, but I did choose. The series I chose is the Gemma Doyle trilogy by Libba Bray, and I have all 3 books. This one is the last one and it's huge. I read the first one and I just really wasn't impressed. I read it a few years ago, so I really don't remember much about it, but I just remember everybody saying it was great and I just wasn't impressed. And maybe I'll go back to it in the future, but right now I have no interest. The last one is, what TV show or movie do you think is better than the book? And I will rave about this all day long. It's always been my answer, and it is The Vampire Diaries. The books are just so juvenile, and I have never finished the series. I started reading them because I fell in love with the TV show. I just could not get through them, but I have watched all 6 seasons of the TV show. I love it. I think it's amazing, and yeah, that will always be my answer for that. It is hands down, The Vampire Diaries is so much better than the book. Lastly, I'm supposed to tag people, but I'm just going to say if you want to do this tag, then you should totally do it, and then you should link it in the comments down below so that I can watch it, because this is one of my favorite tags and I love it, so I would love to hear your opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!